Hey y'all, just a quick reminder, we aren't professionals. This content is strictly our opinion and it's for entertainment purposes only. Have you ever watched Saturday Night Live?
No,
Richie?
I've heard of it. I remember hearing about it so long ago, but I've never really watched it.
So we've been watching, there's like a documentary, and because they're doing 50 years, they're gonna be running for 50 years this year.
Damn.
But oh my God, the amount of anxiety, like me personally watching it, I was like, oh my God.
Really? Why? What?
Because, well, it's a live show. And if you've ever seen it, like, you should watch it. We should watch it this Saturday. Like, if you've ever seen it, you'll see that a lot of the times, like, you'll forget that it's live because everything is just perfect. Like, it goes off without a hitch. Or, like, even if they're giggling, because sometimes the cast members will laugh, but it somehow, like, it seems like it's part of it.
Right.
Yeah, but in reality, in the documentary, like, they show how, so they start a fresh new show every week. So on Monday, like, they come in and then it's kind of like they're all competing with each other like, they write their skits, they have the writers, but the actors are also, like, participating. And it's like a cutthroat type of thing. Like, like, they're all fighting to see which skits are going to make it that week. And then they pitch their skits. I think they do that Monday, Tuesday. I don't remember if it's Tuesday or Wednesday that they pitch the skits. And then the ones that the producer or the creator, Lorne Michaels, like, he either says, like, yes, no. But he picks, like, let's say 50. And then they have to actually put it up, whatever. Anyways, but they dwindle it down. And then on Saturday is the actual Saturday night is when they actually go live at 11:30 Eastern time. But so they go at 11:30 live. Okay, so like at 10, I think at 10, they bring in an audience and they do the whole show. They perform the whole show, but with like extra skits in front of that audience.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever they see that the audience, like whatever skits don't get the laughs that they don't react to, they cut. So they literally don't know what's going to be on the show till like maybe 30 minutes before they go live. And then once they know, then they all scramble to like, okay, like the cue cards, and it's just very chaotic. But it's also like very, like, to me, I think that's the kind of chaos I would like to be in because it's so much creativity.
It's crazy how they all, like, it still comes together even though it's so chaotic.
Yeah.
It's like organized chaos.
So, like, right now, that's what it reminded me of. Because I was like, oh my God, panic! Oh my gosh. Anyways, so, in trying to think about what the topic for today was going to be, part of me was, I have like a list of podcasts of ideas, but for some reason, like, none of it was really, to me, it was like, okay, yes, this is, because it all felt very superficial. And one of the reasons, or the reason, I believe, is because it's really hard for me, I don't know about you ladies, but for me to kind of like go on with everyday life and ignoring what's going on in the real world, like what's going on, out in the world. I just personally am thinking I can't come up in here and do our podcast and about, anything and anything fairies and then just stick to fairies when like the world is going in chaos around us. I thought, okay, so what can I talk about? Because I also don't, when I am very passionate when I believe in something. So, and by passionate, I mean, I can yell, I can get very angry. Not bad, but I mean, I can get very passionate.
You get loud is what happens.
Yeah, like something like that, yeah. And so I do try to scale it back a little. So for that reason, I was thinking, okay, well, I don't want to go full on, with that type of energy. And I guess my first question I want to ask you ladies is how have you been feeling ever since the beginning of this year? Although for me, it doesn't feel like it's it started at the beginning of this year. For me, it was literally like November. But I guess like, how do you guys feel with? Because so many things have happened. You might not even be aware of it, but I'm very aware of everything that's happening, and probably like things that are not even real, you know? And so I go through waves. I go through, I'm okay, everything's fine, everything, and then it's like, oh my God, panic, you know? Let's go, let's do this. And then going zen again. No, everything's fine.
Yeah,
No
I'm cool,
worries.
man.
Yeah, and how are you all feeling with everything that's been going on?
Well, sounds like you're having a trip.
On a daily basis.
Most of the time I'm good. I think the only times are I probably overthink on it. It's honestly mostly with thinking of like my wife and like her safety. No, yeah, it's like mostly just like been that like I just happen to like think a lot like like is she okay? Are we gonna be okay? And then like I started to think like okay like kind of go into like okay like I had to keep an eye on her to make sure everything's okay, and like I had to like go like in a planning mode like just in case like of like what we need to do, worst case scenarios, things like that.
Right.
But most of the time I think I keep myself busy for my schoolwork and my job, which honestly does help a bit.
Okay, what about you, Noodles?
I mean, I am worried. I feel like a lot of things have been set into motion that is very concerning. But for the most part, I try not to like dwell on it because there's not a lot that I can do. But the things that I can do, I'm doing. And then, like Musica said, I just try to distract myself because I don't want to focus on all the negative that's going on.
Right.
How about you?
No, yeah, I mean, okay. So it's so crazy for me, right? Because I can't imagine going through what we're going through if I had gone through this 20 years ago. So what I mean by that, right? I feel like if this would have happened when I was in my 20s, which is when I was in my 20s, I was kind of like starting my spiritual journey. Like I was doing steps to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this would have broken me because when what happened in November, I feel like there was so much hope. There was so much, and spiritual wise, we've been talking about because us three, we communicate a lot about that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's always about, setting positive intentions and setting your day and the law of attraction, the law of assumption. Like we have lived our life like that for many years. So then this happened in November, and it just felt like, what happened? Like the rug was pulled out from under us. But one thing that I found out was that we weren't the only ones that felt like that. And there's this group of people that I came across on TikTok. And right around when, the end of November, when all of this, the mid-November, and when all of this started happening, and they said, you know what, something strange, because everybody started saying that that night, the night, of the election, that they got woken up. And it was usually between the times of 3 and 4 a.m., like that night. And we've talked about this, that we've all kind of experienced that. We experienced the thing with the candles, and do you guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That the energies and everything felt really wonky.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Right? And so these group of people started saying like, oh, they started calling themselves the 4 a.m. club because we started noticing that there were so many people. Like it wasn't kind of like that. Like, oh, it wasn't just me. Oh, I'm not the only one that has had these feelings. And so I have kind of followed them through this whole time. And I think for me, I had this high hope of something happening before January 20th. And everybody in the spiritual community is, especially in the 4 a.m. club, we all had that expectation. And then it didn't happen. And then just everything that has happened since, it almost feels like we boarded a roller coaster. And this whole time it's just been going like downhill. It does loopy loops and then downhill again. And I got mad. My reaction, it was like the stages of grief, kind of, I feel, because I just got so mad. I got so angry and I shut down and I got angry with my spirit guides, with my spirit team. But it was weird because it was like a calm angry. I wasn't really, I just couldn't meditate. I just could not. So for that whole week, I couldn't meditate. And I kept seeing, also remember what happened before, like right before, like TikTok went down. So there was so many things that were going around.
There was a lot of bad, like it was like a domino effect, honestly.
It was so many things. Like and to this day, I feel like we're being bombarded every day. Like it hasn't stopped. So I was that week from like the 20th and that following week, like the literally like 5 to 7 days.
The stream is on now.
Alright, anyway, so all that week I was like numb and like this limbo, and I kept thinking I should be better than this. Like I should be handling this better. What is wrong with me? Because in my mind, it's like I've been doing this for years. This isn't like I'm not new to this. I'm not new to meditation. I still feel like I'm new, by the way. I don't know if that is ever gonna go away. Do you guys feel like that too? Or if not, when did that go away?
No, I still feel like the way with all of my witchy stuff, I feel like I'm still very new at this, but when I think about how long I'm doing this, like, I'm technically not new about it anymore. I think it's just like, yeah, I don't think it's a feeling that's gonna go away, because like, you do end up finding out new stuff or new tricks, and you're like, oh, I never knew that, you know?
Right.
I still feel like I'm learning every day, so.
It's an experience.
Yeah, and so I don't know when that's gonna stop, because I also came into realization another thing, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. But so when this happened to me, about 2 weeks ago, and I kept thinking, I was disappointed in me. I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, why? I should be better than this. I should elevate, than this. And then I started seeing, people from the 4am club and other people, they were all kind of saying, yeah, like it sucks, but we can, let's, hold hands and do this together, blah, blah. And I kept thinking, how the heck are they doing it? How are they doing this? And so, have you guys felt like that? How did you guys feel? Because, okay, so I don't know if, is there a before November for you guys or an after November? Or like, when did you guys, what shifted for you, if anything?
I felt like everything was just building up in November. I can't pinpoint, like I'm terrible with time and dates, but I think November was just a really big buildup, and it was not, like after that, it wasn't what we thought, like it felt like a party where like everyone's having a good time, everything's going awesome, but then all of a sudden it's like, it's gonna be a really stupid comparison, but I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Hangover, but you know how like they're like partying and then all of a sudden they wake up in the room, have no memory, everything's
Yes.
a wreck. Like that's legit how I felt. My energy just
Yeah.
like, and it's been this whole time. It's one of those I've been recuperating because I'm trying to figure out. I'm putting all the pieces together of like what happened, but the pieces aren't fitting and the puzzle doesn't look clear. I'm still trying to figure out everything.
Yeah. So you're still feeling like that?
Mhm.
Okay. What about you, Witchy?
No, yeah, I had to agree with Noodles. Like, I think it was more like after for me, because I just like in the beginning, I don't think it fully on hit me until like I was at work and we have a TV in our little break area, And honestly, I think it depends on like who has their mouth time to like randomly put it on, and they had it on the news.
Mhm.
And it was on the day of the inauguration, and I was just ignoring it, but like for some reason, like everyone's like super quiet, and the TV wasn't really that loud, but it felt freaking loud to me, and I was just like, I really hate this.
Mm.
And ever since then, I've been kind of like spacey. I admit there's times I feel disconnected, and there's other times I feel like I'm just either drowning myself in into my witchy stuff, my homework, or my work, and it's just like that does help for a little bit. But then like when
Mhm.
everything gets calm and quiet, I can't help but think about it, and I just think like this sucks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I've learned since then, because like I tell you, for a week, it took me a week for me to kind of like, okay, I need to stop this. Like I can't be this numb about it. And I decided like, okay, I'm gonna meditate. And I told Noodles a story last night. I wasn't actually planning on telling it today, but I'll go ahead and tell you, Richie. Um,
Oh yay, story.
so when I decided like, okay, I'm going to meditate. But when I decided that I was going to meditate, I kind of then didn't want to because I kept thinking, oh my God, because I felt like I had thrown a tantrum, right? Like when that happened, when the inauguration happened, I was so mad. I was just so mad that it had happened. And I think before I really hadn't felt that. So maybe that's what it was that up until that day, I still had this, I thought like, I could not see that happening. So seeing it then, okay, it happened, that's when I felt like this rage, right? Just so mad and like a little kid. And of course, I blamed my spirit team, literally like a little kid. But then as the days went by, and then when I said, okay, I need to reach out, I need to meditate. But then I was kind of afraid to do it because I was thinking, they're gonna scold me. They're gonna say, for sure they're disappointed in me because I was disappointed in me. And so I kept thinking that, and that was holding me back. But then one day I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna do it. And I sat down, and as soon as I started to meditate, it didn't even take me that long. And I was kind of like, that image of in A League of Their Own when the coach, Tom Hanks' character, is coming over and he wants to yell at the girl, and the girl's like, and he's all like, and he's just shaking because he wants to yell. You know that scene?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like the girl, like, like I literally felt like I was walking in, like, okay, I'm ready, give it to me, like, be mad. And the opposite happened. Like, it was something that I've never felt before. I just felt so much love, but it was different. I don't know how to explain it, but it was so overwhelming that I myself, like, it literally, I couldn't stand it lasting long because it was so overwhelming. I like immediately started to sob, and I just like, boop, I popped out, like, I opened my eyes because I was like, this is too much. Oh my God. Because I couldn't understand. My human side, my ego could not understand. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting them to react like humans. And of course they didn't because that's not, they're not human.
Yeah, that's not what they do.
No, like this is their, their true spirit. So it's not no human emotion. The only emotion that they know is love. And this love is so pure. And like I tell you, I felt like it was almost like little waves. Like it was like my spirit team. I mean, sorry, my spirit guides, my guardian angels, the archangels, my ancestors, La Virgen de Guadalupe, the dragons, like all of them, boom, boom, like kind of like an army, like it's go time, like she's here, let's protect her. But like, and it was such a beautiful feeling, right? And then, but like I tell you, I honestly could not stand it that long. It was so overwhelmingly beautiful, but my human side just couldn't take it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And and then I thought, oh my God, like this whole time I've been talking about, because I have been feeling fear. And here's the thing, I don't even know why. Because this is another conversation that Noodles and I have had, where I said, you know, it's crazy because there really is no reason for us to fear of a lot of the things that are happening around us. I feel like it's more in our head, like we definitely are overthinking, because I literally would go from full on panic mode. Like I wanted to, like, let's get in the truck and let's just like leave the country.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like full on panic mode to that sense, you know. But then I remembered one of the things that we've been talking a lot about. I feel like all last year the theme was the opposite of hate, or the opposite of love is not hate, it's fear. That was like something that I learned all last year. Like that was the theme. And so I remembered, I thought, oh my God, this is why my spirit guys, this is why my spirit team, because they're not going to respond to us with anything but love, because everything you combat it with love. And this whole time, and then I realized, you know, I'm an empath, and I know you two ladies aren't empaths. So not only have we been feeling our stuff, but it's like because I know that I have felt literally like I'm carrying the world on my shoulders. But the moment that you kind of realize that, it's that has helped me. That has helped me because now it's like I'm trying to approach things through love, and I'm starting back again to send my loving energy to the earth, to all of us, because this isn't just a me thing, it's an all of us thing.
Mm-hmm.
With all of this that's been going on, right? And I'm constantly wondering, like, am I the only one that's going through this? Am I the only one? So have you guys been able to meditate? And if you have, because I feel like that's a message that, again, like, I sometimes, like I tell you, I feel like such a newbie because I'm like, how many times are they going to teach me that it's all about love? You know, I feel like they're going to be like, oh my God, or be like, here we go again. But they really aren't. They're really patient.
Yeah.
Me, it's my ego, my human side that is kind of like, get it together, Armida.
You need to be on their level, damn it.
Right, you know, but I do feel that this time it did take
Engage.
me, and I'm not 100% there yet, but I'm getting there. But like, did you guys have any disconnects like that, or were you guys able to connect with your spirit guides, or have you not yet?
For me, it is. I've been very calm about everything, I think.
Yes.
So, but I feel like that was just, it's me disconnecting. You know, it's
Mhm.
not. So, yeah, I feel I definitely shut down when everything started, and that includes spiritually wise. It was one of those. I felt like I was doing like the scene in Gilmore Girls when it's like it's Rory, Lane, and I think Dean. Yeah, and Lane has a crush, so she keeps calling her crush and then hanging up right when she hears him say hello.
Yeah.
And then she'll go to them and be like, "Oh, he's home," you know, all giddy. But I feel like I was doing that, but instead of being all giddy, I was upset and being like, "Why? What are you? What is going on?" And then just hanging up before they can even give me an answer. Like I was doing that to
So
my
you would
spirit
walk in and
guides.
rant and then walk out before they could
Yeah,
say anything.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that seems appropriate for you.
so that went on for a bit until I was finally ready to sit and listen to what they had to say. But they really didn't say much. They were kind of stuck too. But I don't like. I don't know. It's hard because I'm still in the stages of staying in the moment. When
Mhm.
I meditate, because it's hard for me to concentrate. So I can only listen for so long before it's like I have to get up
Mhm.
and do something. I've been getting
Mhm.
back into my own routine, so.
Yeah. What about you, Witchy?
For me, I think I am still very disconnected. Probably not as much as I was in the beginning because the time. I definitely like kind of fall off of because what I would do a lot is I either every time I woke up or if I remember at some point during the day, like I would uh pray out to them in my head and say like thank you and like what I hope like what to accomplish during the day. And I admit, for a while,
Mhm.
I did kind of drop it, and most of the time, like, I remember in the beginning, like, if I would actually drop it, like, they would let me know by having us misplace some things a couple times, lose shit, or, like, us, you know how you, like, you think, oh, you're passing the door, and you think you're gonna just, like, go walk through and everything, and you just happen to, like, manage to, like, hit the edge somehow.
Yeah.
And I honestly thought they were gonna do that for a while, but no, like everything was still normal. Like I still did feel some support. Um, Definitely mostly from the saint, from Lady Guadalupe. Like I did feel her definitely being support, very loving. But like again, like any parent, she was definitely being the whole like I'm gonna wait here and I'm gonna let you know how I am just slightly annoyed that she was annoyed that I was annoyed but not at me. Like she was just like upset that I was feeling upset.
Right.
And that felt nice, but I felt bad because I feel like, am I making her upset because I'm upset now? That's making me upset more. So that was like an endless cycle. I'm getting better at it because like her candle, every time I'll turn on, it'll flicker a lot. So like that, she'll let me know that, okay, like, she's like, I'm matching energies with you. So it's like, god damn it. It's getting better. I'm feeling a little less annoyed now, but it's right. Like it's like how you said before. Like I did think like she would, like kind of like scold me or yell at me, saying like how dare I be so disconnected? How like I don't know. Like, I guess telling me like I'm being a child or something. But no, like she's like again like the saint's definitely a bit more patient. Like a lot of love and everything. He's let me know that
Mhm.
like okay like definitely more like a nurturing
Yeah.
uh being where he's like I'm here to like take the time with you and everything to just like understand
Yeah.
it and like process through it. And she's like okay like I'm just gonna match your energy. Like she's that weird hypey friend that's like okay we're gonna do this together,
Yeah.
which it does is weird. Like I would think that these two would actually conflict a lot, but they don't. If anything, I think they always gossip a lot because their candles always flicker in some funny ass way. I don't ease it, drop in or anything because I think it's a bit rude. But it's just funny because like
Right.
every time I walk in, I see their candles like taking turns flickering. It's like I wonder what the hell they're talking about, but whatever.
Maybe they're just trying to get your attention.
Maybe I mean, but like I do feel kind of like rude about it. I think eventually at some point I probably will start talking to them more, but
Mhm.
I'm not on a stage because like I don't feel that confident to use my cards just yet, and I don't have a pendulum. I know some people say to use dice or to just randomly start like drawing whatever, but
Mhm.
and I admit I was thinking of doing that actually close to like the end of last year. But like with everything
Mhm.
happens, like I feel like that got pushed more back now. And again, like with how they've been like very supportive, very loving and just like very patient with being and everything. So it's just like, oh, it's nice.
Right. Well, see, so here's the thing, right? So after that happened, because that whole week when I was numb, when I say numb, I mean numb like through to all spiritual things, to everything really. But
Mhm.
once I did that, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't meditated every day. But it's funny because I've had these literally messages that I choose to believe that they're sending me these signs, these messages. And one of the first ones that happened was we started listening to this thing called the Telepathy Tapes. And I know we told you a little bit about it, Witchy. I don't know if you have seen anything. If not, please do it. And everybody else listening to us, please listen to them. Right now, there's 10
Mm-hmm.
episodes, and it's just amazing. There's so much things that they cover, but just a quick overview. It starts off with non-speaking people. Most of them are in the autism spectrum, that they actually speak to each other through telepathy, but not only to each other, but to their family, to whoever they get close to. And so at first, that's what I heard about it. And I just heard people say, this is what it's about. Go watch it. It's really interesting. But that's not just what it's about. Yes, it's about that.
Mm-hmm.
But they give the woman, the lady from this podcast, she gives so much information about case after case after case that they actually did tests to see. And it's just amazing because you're hearing it. You're hearing it, what's happening. But they don't only talk about that they are telepathic. Then they start talking, they all talk about this place called the Hill. And the
Mm-hmm.
Hill is, I guess the way I pictured it was like in an astral plane, in another dimension, kind of.
Yeah.
And they all go there, like in their astral selves or through telepathy. Like, I'm talking about people that, like, there was this one person, I think they were in Philadelphia, was communicating from someone like from California. And so there's that part. But the part that really got to me is they talk about other entities there. They talk about angels. There's just so much information, you guys. But there's a death that occurs, and they start talking about this person. I'm not going to tell you who it is because I want you to go watch it. I want you to go listen to them. But they start talking about how he telepathically went and said goodbye to his friends, and they literally, his message to this day is about love.
Mm-hmm.
It's, it's all about love. And all of these people who have these abilities, that's their message about love. So to me, it was like, oh, okay, so this is confirmation because they give us so much information, tests that were done that it's honestly, it's hard not to believe. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
happening. Whether you believe it or not, this is real. And it's cool because it talks about, it says that all non-speakers, every individual have this ability. They all talk to each other like that. So that blew my mind. And then, but anyways, so have you seen it, Witchy, at all?
No, I do remember you guys tell me about it, and I did think like, oh, I should look this up. But then I went to sleep and I forgot.
Okay. What about you, Noodles? Like, cause we watched it together.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts going into it, and like, where did you get out of it?
I mean, yeah, it first of all, it's amazing that they basically created their own community in this different dimension basically. And they love it there. They talk about how it's the way I kind of imagine it's like a library and each of them are their own shelves of information of all this knowledge that they get to share with each other.
Mhm.
And they talk about how there's so much trust in those groups and how they love one another and they even tell whoever is there with them how much they love each other. And I think that's amazing. That's how I think they're able to stay so connected
Mhm.
without even needing to physically be in front of each other.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I thought that was interesting. Like I said, we're definitely going to visit this again because there's so much that we could talk about this and learn and pass the word around as well. But okay, so just watch it because we didn't watch it all in one day. Like we watched,
Mm-hmm.
a couple of episodes. It's so much
Each day.
information that I think you can't watch it all in one day.
Yeah, you need to take breaks. It's so much to take in.
It is, and so then it was so like every time that I would watch it, I would get a little bit of like, oh, okay, kind of like, yes, this is kind of what I'm feeling. Like I know this, And then just today we were watching this documentary on Netflix. It's called Inside the Mind of a Dog. And it is just the cutest documentary because it's talking about, it kind of tells you a little bit about how they've done tests on the intelligence of dogs and everything that they go through, and they, from puppyhood, and it follows this organization where they train dogs for like medical purpose for people. But one of the things that caught my attention like the most, that a documentary is also, you would love it, Witchy, by the way, you would love it.
Yeah, you would. It's super cute.
Yeah, but one of the things, because they were talking about how they also teach, or they were talking about how dogs have the ability to learn over 200 words, I believe. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
like 200, 250 words. And how they have this incredible sense of smell, right? And so they were talking about the rescue dogs. And I started thinking about, I don't know, one of you guys told me about this. I don't remember which one. That in 9/11 they were
Oh, it was me.
using, you told me, right? Do you want to tell
Yeah.
the story? Do you want to tell me what you told me?
Sure. So, back in 9/11, there were so many bodies that they needed to rescue basically, and they didn't know. After a while, the team ended up bringing rescue dogs to help find everyone. But as they went through the rubble, finding everyone, they realized that the dogs were basically getting depressed. They were getting so sad because almost all the bodies that they found, they had already passed. So they were dead. And so when the dogs found that, they got sad because that meant that they didn't get there in time. So
Mm-hmm.
what the rescuers had to do in the end is they would themselves go and bury themselves in the rubble and wait for one of the dogs to go and rescue them,
Mm-hmm.
just so that the dogs wouldn't get so depressed.
Yeah, see, and so I was remembering that story, and so seeing how they were training the dogs and everything, and then when they give the dog to the owner, there has to be this connection, right? And it's like, where does that connection come from? It comes from love. It comes from, you know what I mean? I think that
Mm-hmm.
most of us have felt it, whether it's romantic or non-romantic, with our friends, with our family. It's just, I think, and that's what we need to be tapping into. Obviously, I mean, I think dogs are at a whole other level
Oh
because
yeah.
yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
way they're very empathetic, and you can see that. And so, like I said, it just made me think how, for right now, I was focusing a lot. I could feel myself spiraling down with every little thing that I would hear and panicking, and then I would like, okay, no, 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 it's fine. But now I've realized I need to not direct my energy to the doomsday type of stuff. The
Mm-hmm.
way that I feel right now that I'm coping with it is, I'm not I'm trying to be mindful of where I do with my energy. Where do I put it? That's
Mm-hmm.
why I thought, okay, we're going to name this Anchoring Energies because I thought we need to grab our positive energy and just anchor it and put our attention to what we want, to the good stuff, right? But also, we can't be blind with what's going around either. And I think that's the balance that we need to figure out. And I think that's what we need to be working on. And maybe this is why all of this is happening, is because, yes, it's okay to fail. Like I said, like me, I felt like I failed for that whole week. But it's how many times you get up and and every time you do, it's going to be faster. Because this time it was faster for me. Other times I have stopped completely for months. But this time I did feel it faster, and I did feel like I am getting things a little bit faster. But it's definitely, I feel, putting your energy in what you want to happen. But like I said, the difficult part is being aware, being just an observer, but not a participant. And one way, in my case, that I'm being a participant in a positive way, right? So I know that they've been doing a lot of marches, a lot of peaceful protesting. I can't go and do that. For health reasons, I can't do that. But the way that I'm doing it is I'm protesting with my wallet. I look at what companies align with my values and my beliefs. And if they don't, then I'm deciding, you know what, I'm not going to be a part of that anymore. We got rid of, and I say we because I know Noodles did too, and I know Witchy did too, so all three of us, we all got rid of our Meta accounts. And let me tell you, that was so hard for me. And there are times still that I'm like,
That was me today.
yeah.
I'll just tell you this really fast.
Yeah.
Because today I woke up, right, and I took out the dogs like normal. But when I stepped outside, I was just smacked with the smell of smoke. And I was like, what the hell? And like, of course, me, because I didn't have my glasses, I was trying to squint my eyes to see outside if anything was burning. But I realized that there was like a small haze. And I didn't see any flames. Nothing to me looked like anything was on fire, but clearly something was. And I didn't know how to get the information because before I would go on to Facebook, and because I was part of all these local groups, information would be spread right away. But I didn't have that this time. I didn't know where to go and look for all that. And everyone that I was asking, they didn't know what was going on either.
Damn.
Oh yeah, today I was so upset. I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, out of all the days.
Yeah. And so, no, is it easy? No. Why? Because I believe, and again, this is for entertainment purposes only, and this is just my opinion, mine alone, but I do believe that all these years we have slowly been indoctrinated. I don't know if that's the right word, brainwashed. We have been so used to that. I mean, look at every company now out there. Every company. It's like they have their name and the little, Facebook and Instagram thing. What is it called? The little, oh my God, I can't think of the word right now. The little logo, so that people can know that every company has it. Big major brand, they all have one. And so they got us so dependent on that when we realize what's happening and what's going on, it's hard. It's an addiction. But I got rid of mine a couple of weeks ago. So I'm fine. I'm fine with it, really. I definitely got rid of my ex That sounds funny. Hey guys, do my X to the curve.
Good for you, girl.
Winning. But I got rid I mean, you know what? That's even perfect. Like, get rid of your ex.
Do it. You need to get rid of your ex.
I got rid of it way before I got rid of Meta. And that was a difficult one too because I was literally kind of like one of the first ones on Twitter
Mm-hmm.
years ago. You know, I was there when Ashton Kutcher got the first 1 million followers. That was a huge deal. I mean, it made the news. Like, that's how far back I went with Twitter. And that was a hard one for me to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you can, I guess, do that. Like I'm directing my energy on more better sites, where I'm on Blue Sky, and I love Blue Sky right now.
Yep.
So that's what I'm gonna concentrate on. We've talked about what you can do because also I will say this, I have heard if you do not feel spiritually well, where you can be out on a crowd to protest, then don't go out there. If you're not gonna go out there with a full loving heart, then don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what are things that you can do? Well, like I said, right now, and it's boycott companies that have gotten rid of DEI, companies who have, full supporting the current administration. You know, I know right now there's a huge movement. There is a thing today where is a day without Latinos. I know that there's a certain store, I'm not gonna say the name, but it starts with the letter T and it has like a bullseye. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yep.
And so this store literally said, you know what? We're gonna get rid of DEI and we're even gonna take it a step further. This is what boggles my mind, right? They were like, because most companies are kind of like, oh, okay, well, we don't have to follow DEI. Cool, we're not going to do it no more. But this company was like, oh, no, yeah, cool, we're not going to do it no more. You know what? But we're even going to do it. We're even going to up it. We're going to not work with no minority brands. We're not even going to sell this type of stuff. So right now there's a massive boycott to the store. This one breaks my heart too because I used to love the store. And so be aware. Look at things like that. Like, what is it that you can do to help your values and your beliefs,
Yeah.
And that's a way that you can do it. Shop local. Go to the smaller grocery chains. Right now, Costco, we are loving Costco. Sorry. Right now, honestly, like Costco is amazing, you guys.
Yep.
Support the businesses that you see that are supporting you back.
Why would you want to support a company that doesn't have your best interest in mind? Because that's what's going on whenever you go to these companies who support Trump. So,
Yeah.
I don't. If you continue doing it, I kind of understand, but then I'm like, in the long run, you're hurting yourself more than anything.
Well, and here's the thing, right? There's power in numbers.
Mm-hmm.
There is power in numbers. And we do have more power than that. Okay, yes, is it going to be an inconvenience? Yes. Trust me, you're talking to someone who was so used to ordering all the time, to the big A company.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so funny because the other day I was going through the website because I'm like, okay, I'm canceling you, bitch, right? And I was going through the apps and everything. Like, I go back with the first freaking Kindle. Like, I still have my first Kindle. You know what I mean? I have, like, the first gen Alexa. Like, I was literally on this website before it even had Prime.
Yeah.
Like, when it was just books. When it literally, there was a point, you guys, for all you young people, it used to just sell books. That's how far back. And I got rid of it because I'm like, no, you treat your workers like shit. You got rid of DEI. No, sorry. You're supporting Dump Trump. So, no, I'm sorry. And I am not going to direct my energy to that company. I'm looking for other companies. I found this place called Thrift Book. Google it, or actually, I'm not even using Google anymore. I am using DuckDuckGo for the same reason. Is it a bit of an inconvenience? Yeah, a little, but you know what? It's worth it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the things that I'm saying. Those are the things that we can do that you are contributing a little bit. You know what? Don't use Google anymore. Don't use Google anymore. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you why. Go look it up for yourself. But DuckDuckGo, use DuckDuckGo. That's what I use. That's my search engine that I'm using.
Mm-hmm.
But so just saying Google it, that's also just an expression at this point. But when I say that, I'm actually using DuckDuckGo. But yeah, so, look it up. Look up the companies that have gotten rid of the DEI. And you guys, DEI, I don't know if people understand this. DEI is everybody except white men. That's
Yeah.
who a DEI hire is. So that's everybody. If you're a woman, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, brown, it doesn't matter. If you're a
Mm-hmm.
woman, you're a DEI hire. So I don't understand why more people are not upset about this. Not even talking about the raids that are going on. I mean, that's,
It's a whole nother thing.
don't support celebrities. You guys, there's a massive Latinos, we're really getting together with calling out these celebrities. There was this Spanish group called Grupo Frontera. Grupo Frontera. Frontera, the word, literally means border. These men, and I used to like their music. This is what sucks, right? That I did like some of their songs. But
Mm.
these guys were born and raised in Texas. Of course, Texas.
Enough said.
From immigrants, but they're Trump supporters. And people found out because their mom or like them, they were celebrating and all this bullshit. So now people are boycotting them. Look at what happened with Carrie Underwood, with Snoop. That one
Mm-hmm.
hurt.
Oh yeah.
That one hurt. But you know what? We have to start, wait a minute. This doesn't align with with what I believe. You know what I mean? This doesn't align with my values. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to support you anymore. I went and I blocked him. I unfollowed him from my Apple Music. Because I had music from Carrie Underwood, I had music from Snoop Dogg, I had from that Grupo Frontera. There's another Banda MS. Um, and I've gone and I've deleted them and I've blocked them so that I don't want to see their content. Those things matter, you guys. Those
Mm-hmm.
things matter. And that is what you can do. And oh, there's somebody, you see a celebrity that, like, right now, I'm so glad that Lupillo Rivera is actually, he wrote a letter to Trump about what's happening and in support of Latinos. So artists like that, celebrities like that, then I will support that. And that's where my
Mm-hmm.
energy is going to go.
You and I have talked about this a lot. I mean, we've already put in motion to boycott a lot of the stores, a lot of the fast food places, um, and even to celebrities, like you just said. I haven't listened to Snoop. I haven't listened to anyone that I've seen on that damn list that says that, oh yeah, they're supporting him.
Yeah,
I still don't get it. I will never understand how anyone can support him. But hey, to each their own, I guess.
right? So, anyways, what do you think, Richie? Do you think these are good ideas or bad ideas?
I think these are good ideas, especially since I do think it's very hypocritical, especially if we go back to like our history and everything. It's just, just very, very terrible. And I do think, I don't know, I do think like certain things may go back to how they were. I think right now, like, cause like I find enough, like I feel like a lot of the stuff, depending, I'm not sure whether it's like certain companies or other stuff like that, but I do feel like a lot of it's just like a lot of people just like falling for either like, oh, because like they think like, oh, like following the group type deal. And I think eventually some will start breaking away for whatever reason or another.
Right.
By then I think like, oh, like it's already too late because now you have consequences you have to deal with. But I do feel like it's like kind of like that, it's just like, oh, like it's people like getting like swept up in the hype or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So you guys, again, to recap, anchor your energy, anchor it on love. Literally, that's the messages that I've been getting this whole time. And yes, it's difficult. Work on your shadow work. Do your shadow work. If something doesn't feel right, then don't do that. Don't, follow your intuition. Right now, there's a lot of people, a lot of us that are ascending, a lot of us that are awakening. And honestly, it's part of my meditations when I do meditate, because like I said, right now the energies are so wonky. But everything I do, even when I'm just stirring my coffee, I'm always trying to think, sending out love energy, positive energy. And most importantly, send it to those that maybe you don't want to for whatever reason. Maybe people who are you angry with, who you're upset with. But sometimes those are the people that need it the most, and just hold on. Hold on that to that energy and focus on the positive stuff. Focus on where you want your energy. All right, ladies, thank you so much. I am Mida,
I'm Musica.
And I'm Noodles.
and we're bluntly talking. Bye.
Bye.
See you laters. Hey, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and follow us on our other social media.